The weird psychological quirk that makes certain groups of women more receptive to your advances depending on what demographics they are, what their background is, what cultural upbringing they have. And this it does require some cold reading on your behalf, but we'll get into how you can do that and a few different types of women that I have come across that it's a weird psychological quirk that makes it so much easier for you to approach them and get a good reaction from them. So if you like what I'm up to right at the moment, like, give me a thumbs up. You like this channel, you like the content, you enjoy it, and also check out my website. I've got a 30-day challenge. I highly recommend it if you're new to this type of stuff. I've got a 30-day challenge on the website, easy to sign up. You might need PayPal. Some guys have said that they've had trouble with PayPal. Just make sure you got PayPal. You can get into the 30-day challenge. Highly recommended. And it is a good way for you to get into this type of stuff. But what's this psychological quirk? Now, it is based around the love that they receive as a child and the family and the cultural upbringing that they have already. For instance, if a girl is an Australian girl, let's just start with an Australian girl. Recently, I was in the city. We're on the corner near World Square corner. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. It's a few blocks away from Town Hall. We're on George Street, and there were two girls standing there. A bunch of the boys were out doing some DG. I saw them on the corner. I said hello. They said they were from the country. And immediately I switched from talking to you the way I am right now to, oh, g'day mate, how you going? Oh, welcome to the Big Smoke. You know, they understood that I was putting on a strong Australian accent to kind of ridicule them a little bit. But growing up in the country, they're used to that type of accent and they're used to that type of, playful attitude. And that is kind of in line with how their father would behave on a day-to-day basis growing up. And their father and his behavior is what they would associate with love. Now, that's what makes this a weird psychological quirk that is it's weird. It's really weird. It's almost like if some girl behaves like your mother, you would be attracted to her. I don't think many guys would have that weird psychological quirk. If anything, a lot of guys would feel the opposite. They would feel like anything like my mum I don't want anything to do with. It would feel weird. But with women, a guy that acts kind of like their father, and if they don't entirely hate their father, you might find yourself sleeping with that girl and dating that girl a lot easier because she can associate your behavior with love and the way her father would behave. Another example is, say, I had a student of mine approach a girl who looked like one of those classic bitchy, Lebanese, Middle Eastern sort of background, Geordie Shore type girls with the high heels, the mini skirt. She's got massive nails, like big nails, big eyelashes, just dolled up, just a little bit over the top. And that type of girl would have a semi-aggressive, abusive, impatient, easy to get angry father. The Lebanese father is just irrational and just a little bit crazy in a way. And so my student goes over there and goes, "Oh, hi, how are you?" And she's like, And she basically she didn't swear at him, but she dismissed him in such an aggressive way. It was a brutal takedown. He got destroyed in that set. And he came back and I said, look, you didn't cold read that type of girl. How do you think her family would treat her at home? How do you think the sort of Middle Eastern Lebanese sort of background they behave? And you're coming across weak. That's kind of sickening to her. It's abnormal to be so friendly. And if someone was to be that friendly coming from her sort of background, you've got some sort of a nefarious motive. And that's why she behaved that way. So then I literally just went up to the exact same girl, changed the approach, went up next to her and goes, hey, oi, oi. And she's like, oh. I was like, oi, yeah, who the fuck are you? And she started giggling. She's like, oh, hi, how are you? You know, and I was like, what are you doing? And she could kind of tell that it was a little bit playful, but I was coming across in a way that a lot of crazy Lebanese behave and communicate with each other. And she found it far more enjoyable. She was far more friendly. She opened up. She wanted to stop and talk to me. Next thing you know, she's like, well, where are you going? What are you doing? I was like, who are you? Like, what's up? And that's what makes this weird psychological quirk. I'm not telling you that this is normal. This is just women. And I only really discovered it by trialing a whole range of different things. The other example is you will see guys who like, let's just say, Japanese girls as an example. How would their father behave? A Japanese father's often very attentive, very caring, fun. Japanese men, Japanese fathers, they're great providers. They will look after the kids. Quite often, if you see a Japanese father with his kids, he will play video games. He will play board games. He would, be playing in the park with the kids. They're very attentive, patient, fun sort of fathers. Hell, I wish I had a Japanese father growing up. And so when you think about that to a Japanese girl, what is love to her? It's kind of like a fun, playful, attentive sort of a guy. And that's why some guys, when they approach a Japanese girl, they're like, oh, hi, how you, hello. And they lower their voice and they got a higher pitched voice and they're smiling and making little jokes and being very playful. And that's another weird psychological quirk with women helps with the reaction of Japanese girls. You go over to a Japanese girl and you're aggressive and you're like, hey, what are you doing? What are you up to? Who the fuck do you think you are? A Japanese girl is not going to be so... She's not going to react so kindly to that. She might get scared. She might get angry and just run away. So I'm getting water everywhere, by the way. It's kind of raining a little bit. So there's like 3 examples, and it's not just an Asian girl thing. Let's just say there's a Chinese girl. You would have to be a little bit more serious, you see. Like a German girl, be very logical off the approach. Her dad's probably an engineer, very good with math, very logical. Think about it. Do some cold reading before you make the approach, and it will help with hooking, it will help with your success rate. And so there's no cookie cutter ABCD approach to doing this. You have to be able to cold read, you have to understand the different demographics that you are approaching, and you have to adjust off every approach. So there's just a little bit of a touch of this weird psychological quirk when it comes to approaching women, and this can definitely help a lot of your approaches be more receptive. So anyway, give me a thumbs up if this helped you. Leave a comment, even a comment of disagreement. whatever. But if you're out there, you're getting into cold approach and you're thinking of taking one step further because the results aren't that great, I highly recommend you sign up to do some online coaching to start with. You can try out the digital product. It's dirt cheap. It's basically free for what you get. Or you reach out to me, you fill out the form, you fill out the coaching form, and do a online mentorship program with myself. It also has evolved into a lifetime mentorship. So you're in a way signing up to lifetime mentorship with myself, where you can reach out to me at any stage. And what I do is I under promise and over deliver. My goal is to get you guys results above all, regardless how much work I need to put in. So I highly recommend that you sign up to some online coaching as well. Anyway, give me a thumbs up if you like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.